So today we're going to ask the question, what's in your war bag?
And what's in your line bag?
Good job, Black Hawk 5.
All right, man, you guys are in for a treat today. This has been a greatly requested video. For the simple fact is, I've done quite a bit of wildland videos. A lot of you subscribers are doing wildland. This is your first year.
Or getting into it, yeah.
Or getting into it. I have been getting lots of questions like, can you do a video on what to take, what we should bring? And I thought, I've kind of been reluctant to do that because would you say that any of this translates to outside of the wildland?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You do?
Yeah.
Maybe a 24-hour, 48-hour bag? Some ideas?
Yeah, like your survival, all the power's out, something happened to your car, you're trapped somewhere. I think a lot of it translates in a lot of different ways. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Wildland. So when you go in the wildland, so here's the deal. So you need to be able to the wildland environment is super fluid, super dynamic, and you need to be squared away, and gear management is probably one of the most difficult things.
Yeah.
Dealing with it. You need to be able to be to adapt. You may be on an engine, you may be in a helicopter, you may be on a hand crew, you may be spending a couple, 2 or 3 nights out without any support. So all of those roles, it's more difficult for guys like us because we primarily are going to be on engines, which is pretty simple because we can, have all those luxuries and those creature comfort things on the engine.
Of the engine, yeah.
But I've been on many fires where they said, okay, well, you're not going to be on the engine today. You're going to be on hand crew. And a lot of guys are left scrambling because they hadn't considered that.
So you may be thinking, oh, well, I'm just going to be on engine this fire, and you just pack your most minimalist components and think everything else will be stashed in the engine itself. You may find yourself desperately wanting something.
Desperately wanting.
Yeah.
So this is going to be, there's going to be a couple components to this, but we're going to go into the line gear. What is the line gear? So when we show up at a fire, we're going to have 2 bags.
Yeah.
We're going to have our big bag, which to really oversimplify is going to be the camp stuff.
Yeah.
Tent, sleeping bag, shower kit, that type of thing. And then we have the bag that we need to grab where this is where we're going. We're going to be on the front line and we need to be able to be self-sufficient, I figure, for 48 hours. So let's get into the packs.
Yeah.
Interesting that you and I have the same pack. We don't work together.
How did that happen?
Well, I don't know.
It's so weird.
There's not a lot of options, really.
There are a lot
if you're
of
talking
options.
about the really good stuff.
Yeah. So
Coaxure. So we have coaxure packs. These are specifically designed for wildland, and there's a lot of that. I mean, there's always, this is for bicycling and this is for that. When they're basically the same thing, but these really are purpose built. Yeah. And the main thing that makes them different is the way that they carry the load down low on your back. The reason being is you need to be able to have free movement of your shoulders and be able to work independently. You might be swinging a Pulaski or an axe all day or a chainsaw. You can't have all that bulk on you. You need to be able to work freely. So the wildland packs carry themselves really low. And then the second thing that's going to be completely different than everybody else is a dedicated fire shelter.
Yeah.
And that's going to be right in here.
Yep.
So I like the coaxure packs because they're so modular, meaning that they have lots of ways that you can configure them. If I was on a gnarly type 1 hand crew, hot shot, that type of thing, I wouldn't have a pack like this. I would go with something like the Mystery Ranch or the Nimrod.
That's exactly what I was going to ask
big old
you.
burly packs, but those packs are heavy. I mean, they are absolutely bomb-proof, but they're not super modular. They're starting to be a little bit more, but this gives me options because I need to be able to fill so many roles.
Yeah.
In the engine is going to be very different. If I'm working next to the engine, I can take off the main pack and just go really light. Yeah. If I'm going to be out on a hand crew, I can add things onto it. My lunch, cold weather gear on the same pack. So that's really critical. So let's get in the pack and see what's in them. So this right here is the foundation of the pack, and this is basically the load bearing section where you're going to have your straps, your waist straps. You're going to have all your suspension and your camelback, and then your fire shelter. So a fire shelter, if you don't know, is I take mine out of the plastic cover for weight. I'm a fanatic on weight.
Wow. So let's talk about that for a quick little second.
Yeah. So this is the fire shelter. This is basically, you wrap up in it like a baked potato.
Yep.
I'm not a fan of fire shelters. I'd like to see, we have to carry these big 6-pound or whatever these things,
Yeah.
5-pound hunks of material that we're never going to probably use.
Okay, hold on. Before everybody completely freaks out, there's a reason why Cody is saying he would really like to not have to carry the shelter, which he's now going to explain.
There's a philosophy behind it. So
There is a philosophy.
it seems to me that I think guys put too much faith in these things, thinking, okay, I can get myself into a situation. It's like 4-wheel drive. They say, use 4-wheel drive to get out.
Yeah.
Go as far as you can in 2-wheel drive, and then use a 4. But having this, people will go into dangerous situations, and not only that, but maybe if the fire is chasing them, they'll stop instead of continuing to run where they may have ultimately been able to outrun it. I don't know. The Australians, they don't carry these. It's hard to say.
It's a difficult thing
But
to
it's
say.
something. I think the Forest Service should consider it, because I mean, this is a tremendous burden to pack this thing around.
Did you say how much you think it weighs? Is it around like 6 pounds?
Somewhere, and then the new one that's coming out is even more heavier.
Even more. And they're
Yeah.
physically larger because they're finding a lot of guys are much bigger. You know, with the hard hat, we have to wear a hard hat, full PPE when we get into one of these things. So it's a lot. Now, Cody takes off the plastic, or doesn't use it with the plastic case. I do for one main reason that
It protects it.
it protects
Look
it.
at
You're
mine.
always sitting, you're putting the pack down on it, so it's going to get beaten
Look at
up.
mine versus yours. Mine's all deformed and dirty, and yours is not.
Yeah,
So,
one of us is Virgo.
but it's that's not light,
Sure it is.
and it doesn't even do any good. It's not like you can use it to carry water. It's got a hole in the bottom.
Well, that's why I have tape.
Okay, well, I don't know. I carry a spare bandana in here, and this is one thing that so this is the strap here, you see? I'm not talking to you, I know you know that. But the yellow strap, so you can reach around, you want to reach around there and be able to grab a hold of that and pull this out, and it yanks the whole thing out, kind of like a mini ejection seat. One thing on the wildland fire that I lose sleep over, like I wake up in cold sweats, is being without my gloves for some reason.
Are you going to be one of the few people that actually uses the
Oh,
glove
you bet
pack?
I use it. You
Oh,
bet.
I'm not the only one.
No. I use it because it's insurance to me, because I'm taking my gloves off all the time to do things, because wildland gloves are heavy and bulky, and I sit them down and I look around me and they're gone. And there's a lot of guys, especially engine bosses, that myself included, have a very bad habit of finding someone's gloves and hiding them. Like, oh, you're going to leave your gloves laying around?
You guys are mean. Mean!
So,
mean.
I worry about this all the time because I have left them. And so I keep a spare pair of gloves in here just for that reason. I never take them out. They're always here.
A lot of guys talk about, like, they get the shelter out and they get kind of confused and they immediately, like, pull their glove off to get the shelter ripped open.
Right.
And then they lose it.
And then you're in the shelter.
Panicking.
And then also the other school of thought is that let's say you do deploy this thing, you're going to have this pack, right?
You're going to have the pack itself.
You may have lost your gloves in the fleeing the fire or something, and because the shelter, you have to hold it down with your hands when you're inside.
Yeah, and
your hands will fry.
It's about 800 degrees on the cool side.
It's bad. Also, on this is where it's going to be a hydration pouch, and I've seen some guys like, oh, I'm good. I've got 4 quarts in my hydration pouch.
With just the hydration pouch?
Oh, yeah. And just this, and then they rely upon this. Never you want to do that, because it's putting all your eggs in one basket.
No.
And these things are notorious for failing. I mean, how many times have I sat down this thing and it's leaking all over the ground, or this thing breaks, and then I don't have access to it.
Yeah.
So yes, it's very nice. It's a convenience that I use, but I absolutely don't rely upon it. And we'll talk more about water when we go to the big pack. Also on this, I'm going to wear this around the engine. This is all I'm going to take. I have to have the shelter on me at all times. That's absolutely. So if I grab this and I'm working near the truck, what do I have? I've got my shelter. I've got water. I've got a Cliff Bar in there. You know, I mean, very, very minimalistic.
Yep.
And then my gloves, and then of course a whistle I keep on there, and then the gloves are always tethered. I am fanatic about this because, as I've said, I've laid them down before.
Yeah.
So I use this small tether that one of my subscribers made this for me, and this clip on here, and I keep them tethered.
Yeah.
When they're off my hands, I put them on here, and then I also keep a multi-tool.
That's what I forgot to bring today.
So I keep a Leatherman Wave in here because it seems like I'm always needing that to either fix something or to cut a wire or something like that.
Yeah.
One thing that I found out last year that was just the business are these expanding bags.
Oh, it's a little dump pouch. It's a collapsible dump pouch.
Yeah, and I liked it so well that I got 2 of them. I got one on each side now.
Oh.
And so what
do you use it? What are you sticking in there?
Well, when my water bladder rolls, you can't. The thing I hate about these things is they're vulnerable to damage, but also that they are you can't meter them.
Can't meter them.
Yeah, you were talking about that. People shouldn't drink box wine because you don't know. Did I just drink a bottle or half a bottle or whatever? Because
I did say that.
Because you don't know what.
You
where
don't know
it's
how
at.
much you're drinking. Yeah.
So you're trying to manage your water, and it's 2:00, and you're thinking, how much can I drink? Do I have half? Do I have quarter? You don't know.
Yeah.
And so once that's gone, it's hard. So one thing that I like about these is these bags, they open up. It's basically just turns into a big expandable bag.
So you can dump your water bottles, your Gatorade or whatever in there.
Gatorade, water bottles, I can throw them in there. I know what I've got, but I've also used this a ton for carrying appliances.
Well, I was just going to say, I would probably end up using that for your Gator
Nozzles,
Wise, your nozzles,
splitters,
pipe
adapters.
wrench. Yep.
100 different things. I mean, it's right there. You can get to it, and I've got
big.
They're big.
Yeah, no,
They are big.
dude, I dig that.
And so and then they fold up, and so I've got one on each side now. They're
not
super
taking up
light.
they're not taking up a ton of space on your belt.
Yeah, that's the way to go there.
I like it. I keep my own personal med kit. I've always got the things
you
that
got
I
on the
specifically
outside.
On the outside. Flashlight. And I carry my camera.
I carry camera too, but my system's a little different than yours.
Yeah, so I carry.
This is kind of bulky though, isn't it?
I can't help that.
You gotta get your foot. You gotta get the shot.
Yeah, because it's the other thing that I do is I work in photography, so I actually use a camera.
I see. We've got our packs configured a little differently. So I hated the drop down thing, the shelter where you could drop it down lower.
Oh, one of the coaxial features is that you can drop that shelter down.
You pull these tabs here, right?
Do a side shot.
Right, and drop that down. Well, I don't like that.
Why don't you like that?
Because it works its way down, and when I do use it, I don't like it. I got rid of it.
Cody hasn't figured out how to do it properly.
You know what else I didn't like on this pack?
Here it comes.
Is this thing.
The DAW system?
That label bothers me.
Labeling in general bothers
No,
you?
this particular, all the font, I hated it. I cut it off. I got rid of that.
Did you really?
Oh yeah, it bugged me.
Somebody's a little snobby.
Well, I'm just saying how it is. I just didn't like it. Okay, so we're just talking about line gear. So that's the bare bones, bare minimum, right?
Yep.
So let's say that we need to expand that. We're going to go away from the truck. We're actually going to go out and maybe be on the line, swinging some tools. Last year I got pulled off and worked as a sawyer for 2 days. Worked on a saw team. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to snap this onto my line gear. This is going to give me more capabilities. So nice. Again, these things are both laid out the same. So let's start with the top 2 pockets here. So I'm going to carry here on the left a pack of fusees.
A pack of fusees.
Yeah, 4.
Everybody, a fusee is basically a really big flare. We specifically call them fusees, don't call them flares. Flares are probably something else. So we call them fusees.
Well, they are different because they drip.
These will specifically drip
They
fuel and paraffin and stuff.
And the reason for these fusees, I mean, it's like a flare. You're gonna pull the cap off and ignite it. But one thing different about these is if you look on the backs are hollowed, so you'll stack them together. So when you're doing a burnout, when you're starting a fire, I've put 3 of these things together. You have a nice long wand. You can walk along light grass, like fire. So starting fire, basically what these are for a couple reasons. To do a burnout, which I did last year. I'll link to the video. I've got a video of it where we use fusees to do a burnout. And also, this is a last-ditch effort to save your life. Mm-hmm. If the fire is chasing you, you can get away from it a little bit. You can burn out the fuel, especially if you're in grass where you're at, and remove that fuel. When the fire comes to you, there's nothing for it to burn, and you can survive. These have saved many, many firefighters' lives. So I carry 4. How many do you carry?
2. I carry 2.
And I get the short ones. The short ones are kind of favorite for the smoke jumpers.
Yeah.
Versus the long ones, and they carry better in the pack. They're harder to find, but they're out there. So,
I carry the longer ones because if they're going to be used, these are used for me in an emergency.
So on the secondary pack then, so on the other side, there's another little long pocket here. This is kind of what I consider to be my signaling stuff.
Okay.
So I'm going to have 3 rolls of tape configured, or this, what do you call this stuff? Ribbon.
Flagging tape.
First off, there's universal colors on fires for what they mean, and pink, like this here, is how you label an escape route. So as you're going into an area you're not familiar with, you'll tie these on the tree, and everyone knows that if you see this, it's an escape route. It's pink and it's labeled. The second is the killer tree, right there. So any sort of a hazard or snag or something that's going to fall on people, because every year wildland firefighters get killed by falling snags.
I think we had two last year that were hit by snags.
Yeah, and you just never know them. It's silent death.
Yeah.
And then the third is just orange is going to be general purpose
Yep.
for who knows what. And then I keep 2 chem lights in here as well.
Oh, interesting.
Because oftentimes you're doing night ops and the flagging, like, okay, I want you to come up and bring the engine, or signaling aircraft, or whatever you need to do. The chem lights are real. Oh, you got them too.
Yep, so I carry chem lights.
Okay, so the outside pockets is going to be water storage. Man, you just cannot hardly carry enough water. It's I think some people say, well, you'd be okay with 4, do I dare say it, liters?
Say it.
4 liters of water. That's not enough.
No.
It's not enough when I was on a fire, it was 104 degrees, and we were on a hand crew last year. People were dying.
And just so you guys know, there are no wildland fires on flat ground. You're always going up some ridiculous pitch of a hill.
like hand and feet.
Oh.
I've got 4 liters in the back.
Yep.
I've got 2 liters here, so that's a total of 6, and then I can augment that with the drop pouches.
Drop pouch.
Yeah.
So can you talk about?
Oh, these are way better.
No, way better.
They are way better. First, they're $3 versus how much of those?
This is $1.99. REI
Okay,
special on sale.
Well, we could edit that part out.
Oh.
The square, they're smaller.
Yes.
They fit.
And what does that mean? How much water does that? How much
It's
water
the
does
same
that
amount.
hold? You serious?
It's 32.
Is it really?
It's exactly the same amount. And when you compare trying to fit it in there, there is no comparison. I mean, it's a better form factor for packing. It is. I kid you not. Look at it.
Okay.
I have had those before, and what I've found is I can't get them out of the pack. Especially when you got your lunch in there and it starts squeezing on it, and I can't get them out. Where these come out I can reach over and I can get that out of my pack where I can't get those out.
Is that a true statement?
It is true. And the wide mouth also dribbles all over my face, and I can't drink out of it when I'm walking if I need to move. What?
Well, you can choose whichever one's going to work best for you. For those of us that are drinking challenged for some reason. However, I will say this.
This is my particular hobby horse. If you
clearly did not pick up on that at all.
Are you sure those are $2?
When I
those are like
specifically
$12.
No, the ones that are like super Nalgene, like wicked awesome design,
Yeah.
wicked awesome designer colors.
Well,
these are just the plain Jane. They
These
were
are
on
cheaper because
sale,
they poison you while you drink. They give you the
Right, he's got cancer. Oh, climber rated beaner.
A climber rated beaner. You may need to, I don't know. You may need to rappel off of something. You may need, but what I found where where this is invaluable is
Helo
drops. You're always lashing your pack to the engine.
Yeah.
And I clamp this on there because I don't want to be that guy to go out and my line gear fell off the engine. I mean, you don't ask to be invited back.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
So make sure everything's secured and everything's on a tether, and then make sure it's fall rated too.
Yeah, there may be times that they're gonna do what's called a short haul sling load, where they will literally beaner your pack to a drop line off a helicopter to get it up on top. You guys will hike up to it, or you're going to be dropped out of a helicopter. They'll literally sling load this stuff up to you. So they want to make sure that they can secure it. Specifically, and both Cody and I have climber rated lockable beaners.
Right.
You don't have to worry about people stealing stuff. So yeah, don't skimp on beaners.
No.
Do not. Don't grab the little ones like the 50-cent ones like impulse buy that are at the front counter that you use for the keys. Use an actual.
No, make sure you get one buy it at a place that sells climbing gear. All right, so in the main compartment, so one mistake I see a lot of guys do is they fill this up, and so then they don't have room for anything like non-essential items like lunch.
God, who would
Have
do
you noticed?
something?
Have you noticed that
I've
though?
never noticed that.
It's like I'm going on a wildland fire.
No idea what
and
you're talking about.
I've got to make sure I use every single space of it. So this space is pretty much left empty, so I can adapt the pack to what I'm doing.
Yes.
Okay, so, but there's some things that have to be in here.
Yes.
First off, this is where I'm going to keep my med kit.
So your med kit is buried inside the main compartment.
It's buried in the main compartment, but it is dedicated in the side for a couple reasons. I know it's always there, and I also label anything with a med kit, I put these on.
First aid tab.
First aid
nice.
tab. So anyone who sees it knows that inside this pack or inside whatever is a medical kit. So, and in this I'm going to have, of course, you know, this is a really comprehensive bag. It's going to have lip balm, a few personal items. It's going to have blister kit. It's going to be in here. Pharmacy is going to be here. Meds, diarrhea, aspirin.
Contact lenses if you wear
Contact lenses, that sort of thing. I mean, this is a whole video of itself.
Yeah.
A lot of thought needs to go into this, but similar to your bag. And this is going to be very personal.
For you specifically.
Very personal. So that's going to be there. And it's in a waterproof bag.
Yeah.
Which is really important because, and we're going to talk about bags a little bit, your stuff's going to get wet. You're going to have this hanging on the side of the engine, and someone's going to overfill the tank, and foam and bubbles are going to come out, and everything's going to be completely soaked. So anything you want to keep dry, or you're going to have a leaky water bottle, or something's going to happen, yeah. And if you want to really upgrade this, you can go to these Aloxex, which are the military grade.
You ready? You ready? Watch this. But Cody, how many ounces does this bag weigh compared to that bag?
Well, you know, it's all about trade-offs.
Well.
But I don't trust these things.
No, I wouldn't trust it. Which is why this one is empty, because it's a spare. So I can take, and it's a larger one, so I can take one of the smaller ones, stick it in there.
And these freezer bags, they're actually pretty tough.
They're tougher than you think.
They're tough.
I carry spares.
In here also, I'm going to carry goggles. Very essential, and I don't like scratch lenses. I keep them inside of a dedicated bag.
Yep.
And in this bag, I also learned the hard way from being on a sagebrush fire last year. I carry 2 of these really good 3M. These are rated for wildland firefighting masks.
What is it, N95? NP95?
It's the 8511.
N95.
N95, yeah. And these are super, super good. I carry 2 of these because you're going to have a friend. I don't do duplicate for everything, but I mean, you're going to be the guy where you have a friend that's suffering, you're not going to share your lunch or share your water.
Oh, that is something that we haven't specifically mentioned. We may actually have doubles of stuff, or it might seem kind of silly, like why would you carry something like that? It may not specifically be for us, but
For the unprepared.
we've found a lot of times there's a lot of people that either just don't know any better, they weren't trained, or they just don't know. So you got to have extras every once in a while, some certain things. It's interesting that you carry face masks. So I had talked to a guy that specifically never uses those, so that he can actually smell fire.
Well, I don't know, maybe, but I mean, I'm not using them very often, but I was in an extreme situation where the fire is coming towards this burning sagebrush, which is just so hard on you. It was a quarter mile away. It's being driven by 40-mile-an-hour winds. It's clearly that it was right there. I can see. We're in grassland. I could see everywhere.
Oh, gotcha.
So it was so bad that you'd have to close your eyes for about 30 seconds before you could open them, and blink a little bit for maybe 15 seconds before they burnt so bad that you had to close them again.
Yeah.
So we're looking for hot spots. We're in charge of this. We couldn't keep our eyes open. So I would close mine, and my partner would open his, and we would alternate back and forth. It was so bad, but I did not have these, and he did. And I was having a lot of trouble, respiratory trouble, and he wasn't. So I'm going to use them.
What else you got in there?
So this is also, these are all items that are never going to come out of here. So this is my, this is a little kit I put together of just my little essential things. I'm going to have in here bootlace, extra bootlaces.
Yeah.
Always leather. I like leather. 50 feet of paracord. A lighter. This is a boot pack repair kit that I put together. And so in this, I've got a small Ranger band. I've got some heavy brass wire that you can actually fix a pack with.
Brass specifically.
Yeah, it's actually snare wire. It's really tough stuff.
Oh.
And I've got also some Kevlar cord wrapped around here inside the tape. And also I've got screws. These are the screws you use to replace boots. If somebody shows up with crummy dander boots on the wild, look at that. Did you see mine first?
No, but I like how we both have nearly the exact same
That's
container.
incredible.
Same container and everything.
So the screws, I've seen guys show up with crummy dander boots that were glued and not screwed and sewn.
They de-lam in a heartbeat.
And they're flapping like a big tongue off the front. These screws, you can screw this in there and you can repair them. Oh, you've got screws too?
Oh, yeah.
Mine are bigger than yours, though.
Well, you only have to do the outer edge. I don't want something going in my foot.
That's true.
Sportivas, for those of you guys that are like, wow, Nick's boots. Wow. I'll just go with Sportiva hikers. De-lam.
I've seen it.
Oh, you mentioned if you whisper the word fire to Sportiva, they de-lam.
Yeah, I've seen it. And you see the guys wearing them more and more on the fire, and they're not, I wouldn't want one.
Yeah.
I also carry a needle.
Yep.
A heavy sewing needle in here for not only for if I needed to sew with this Kevlar string, but slivers.
Oh, yeah.
And I carry a magnifying glass in here too.
Oh, that's so precious. Look at how tiny that is.
It's out of a Swiss Army knife.
Is that because you're of a certain age and you can't read real well?
Well, sometimes I get those nasty slivers and I can't get them out.
Oh, gotcha.
And so I put that magnifying glass in there.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I've actually, and then a really good USA made
Safety razor.
razor blade, brand new in the package.
Nice.
So that's how that kit goes, and some rope.
And you've got spare bats in there as well with protector caps. Double A's?
Yes, lithiums.
Yep.
I'm going to pack that together later there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm also going to carry a lighter in there, and 100% DEET bug repellent.
Dang, I knew I was forgetting something.
Yeah, you want that.
Bugs, man.
And also Gorilla brand duct tape.
Yep.
And medical tape wrapped around a credit card.
Yep.
Got that in there.
Yep.
I've got a signaling mirror.
Yep.
For aircraft.
Yep.
And I keep that in a plastic bag.
Why?
With its so it doesn't scratch. And also I keep the protective coating that comes with it on there. Because I've never need to use this, but you want it to be really shiny.
Yeah.
These are really wonderful. These Aquamira drop-in water purification tablets. And then I'm going to carry, you're going to have batteries out the wazoo because they give them to you there because everything in the wildland runs on AA's.
Yeah.
So you don't have any type of an electronic device that runs on any sort of a weird special battery. Make sure it's AA. Headlamps, flashlights, everything.
Yeah.
So these are not going to be my replacements. These are my absolute emergency lights, primarily for my flashlight.
Or radio.
Or headlamp.
Yeah.
Or it could be our radios don't run off of these, but normal wildland radios do. And lithiums in the aviation works case is great because these are so light. They're much lighter than the regular ones, and I carry a safety pin in there. And that's
safety pins. Can't
it.
have too many.
That's it.
I carry boatloads of stuff, so I'm surprised Cody doesn't have food.
Well, wait a minute. I do.
Oh yeah.
You go through yours. So
Okay.
I have a different. I have a different
Okay, well,
method on that.
I'm gonna go from interior side pockets, spare pen, spare energy bar, spare mirror, rubber bands, keep all the time.
There you
Same
go.
thing, Gorilla tape wrapped around credit card. I have way too much that's on there, but you never have too much 1,000
This
mile
is
an hour
so
tape.
interesting. We have so many. We didn't put our packs together. We have so many things that are similar.
Yeah.
Space
blanket.
Is this the mummy bag style or
It
just
is
the flat one?
Not. I didn't go with the mummy bag style. Why?
Because they're expensive.
Yeah, and they're really heavy. Other stuff I keep inside, pouch, extra bandana, just in case.
Bandanas, one of the first things I do when it's hot is I put one around my neck. Because I don't typically get sunburned, but after all day on the back of my neck, if my head is down, my neck will get really raw. So having that bandana to be able to flip it around really alleviates a lot of that uncomfort or discomfort.
Another power bar.
You do like those things.
Little vitamin C packet.
That's a good
Just
idea.
to kind of electrolytes, extra one of those, extra power bar.
Oh yeah.
Wildland firefighter's best friend right there, ladies and gentlemen.
If you didn't have anything in your pack next to water, you want this.
Yeah.
I You want to? Should we talk about the monkey butt?
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Can't believe he just used that term.
That's
Are we
the
allowed
term.
to use that term?
Well, it is the term.
No, there you have
It
it.
is the term.
And this wicked amount of extra weight, but
And that's not a big, heavy chunk of glass.
it's not.
You only
They
make
do
little
come
ones.
in little tiny ones, which I've yet to find. Find little Tabasco packets like your
Like
little
what I
honey
have in
packets and
mine.
little ketchup, whatever.
So in here, so there's another zipper pack here. So I,
Is that for your shoulders? Oh, no, that's
a
not
ball
your-
cap. Now,
John Deere, represent.
it's more than that though.
Oh,
There's a tremendous philosophy behind this particular hat and why I wear it.
of course there is. It's you.
Okay, so everyone on the wildland firefighting ground is looking to get the great assignment, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be doing mop up all day. I want to be on the front line doing the stuff, right?
This is going to be deep, isn't it?
So I'm wearing, so you're taking your helmet off whenever you can. You know, you stand around the truck. Depends on who the task force leader is, but some are more relaxed. So sometimes you can have your hat on. So I wear the John Deere hat because one, it's high visibility. And when the guy is looking, and he doesn't know any of us, he's looking around at all these guys thinking, who's the most capable of the group, right? Which one of these guys, I don't know any of them, they all look the same, they all are in the yellow shirt, but which one is going to be able to get the job done, right?
The guy with the John Deere hat.
The guy with the John, what does it say about the guy with the John Deere hat? He's probably lives on a farm or a ranch.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably can fix anything. He's probably hardworking, honest Midwest type of folk, right? So I wear the John Deere hat all the time for that very reason.
So you are, on any fire, you are known as the guy with the John
And
Deere
I
hat.
always have it. This is specifically for my wildland pack, and people recognize me, and that's important too. Hey,
Yeah.
didn't I see on the? Oh yeah, that's that John Deere guy.
Yeah,
So having this,
I like it.
there's a method behind it.
I
and
like
and
it.
there's a reason why I keep it in there.
Cody, there's a reason for everything that you do. You know that.
I'm detail oriented.
You are.
and you are too.
No, I appreciate that.
Negative, sir. And what I'm going to do is let me line up. It's going to be north of the. Wait a minute. There is somebody walking around. So is that individual you, by any chance?
Good job, Black Hawk 5.
Yeah, just got paid today. Got to be a full of shit. You believe like working hard on it, just step in my shoes and take my pay. I was down my fucking son when I hit the ground. I was on the run.
That was fantastic. You would like to have some different covers on there.